My presentation is on social emotional apps for special education students. The importance of SEL. SEL stands for social and emotional learning. These skills do not come naturally to special education students, so it's important that we cater to these students and do the best that we can as educators to facilitate their learning of their emotions and interactions with other people. Um, their courage, confidence, and emotional awareness needs to be nurtured more than typically what other students may require. And doing this will successfully help these students to collaborate, cooperate with other students, be productive in their studies, and their school area. It's definitely beneficial to introduce certain ways and strategies to help these students come to terms with their emotions and um, different strategies on how to approach these types of situations. Can technology be used for SEL? Yes, technology can definitely be used to benefit these students' social emotional learning skills. These technology apps can definitely assist in providing these skills that these students may lack and which other students may have. And we don't want these students to feel any more setback than they already are. So we need to help them. And these technologies can definitely guide us and be used as an aid to help promote these students and reinforce their skills. Even though there is not as much research as special education educators would like to have surrounding these certain apps and their long-term effects on these types of students, it's still important to note that technology is rapidly changing and educators need to keep up with the rapid change that's going on and the rapid demand for technology. So that being said, with these new developments in technology, educators should try to incorporate these apps into lessons that are dedicated to everyday skills. I know I have a brother with Down syndrome, so he really benefits from his school iPad that he has. He has a talker on it, so if he can't express himself, he uses the words and apps on there to help express himself and interact with other people. So in these next slides, I kind of outlined and summarized the 9 applications that were listed and discussed in the article that I had read about the SEL with special education students. I just want to pick out some of the ones that I thought were the most beneficial. So from this one, Breathe, Think, Do, this one kind of teaches children how to keep calm, and it touches on problem solving, self-control, and regulation of emotions. I thought Emotionary down here was definitely interesting because students are able to draw their emotionary selfie to match how they're feeling. So this is not so much like speaking what they're feeling. This is kind of an artistic approach. Go Noodle was definitely one that struck me. I remember during my senior year of high school, I was completing a field experience at my old elementary school, and I was assigned a second grade class. And they used an application like this in the middle of the day where they took a break and did some dances and watched some videos, which definitely helped increase their concentration and their attention spans, and definitely uplifted their spirits. And I think that was it. I definitely think the incorporation of these SEL apps in the classroom is important, and we should allow these students to learn off of these apps during different times of the day. And I think that if these special education students have iPads or functional computers, they should definitely download these apps and work in small groups. Teachers and educators could create small group lessons and use one of these technology apps as a guide to the lesson. Some difficulties of the incorporation of SEL apps in the classroom may include some students not being compliant when trying to navigate or while using these apps. Some students may become even bored of these apps, so educators should not just use one application. They should alternate which types of apps they use. Technology may not always work. Don't depend on solely using this to help the student. Use it as an aid or a guidance to help with these skills. And basing it off of technology may not always work. Problems with the internet connection, Wi-Fi, etc. could happen too, so that might impede on using these apps. And what works for one student may not work for another student, so every student is different, and that's always important to note that every student requires different needs and different individualized plans and lessons for them, so each app may work for a different student. And I think that's it. Yep. So those were the benefits of social emotional apps for special education students.